this would happen, didn't I? Oh yes, I did. Remember? I told you this was going to happen. And this is the problem, you see, when you decide to go on the attack, and more importantly, you decide to attack someone, really, when you think about it, you should have thought better of in the very first place. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today on this rather chilly day in London town. Dark clouds gathering, half expecting Christopher Lee to pop up behind me, you know. Bela Lugosi, yes, well, who remembers him? Yes, Bela Lugosi. What a character actor he was. Hungarian, I believe, was he? Yes, well, I know we like to share these little bits and pieces, don't we? It's the things that, you know, Boris Karloff, who was he the one with the bolt through the neck in Frankenstein? Thought he was a brilliant actor. My favourite horror film, though, has to be King Kong and Fay Wray screaming. What a performance that was. Back as ever, though, to your royal story of the day. It's funny how you drift, isn't it, when you're a bit cold, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, here's where it gets really interesting, particularly for me, because as we know, we've recently just seen the Netflix series, you know, docu-drama, whatever you want to call it, Scoop, which, of course, was this big thing based on the now infamous Newsnight interview with, of course, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. And I said at the time it was a rather difficult sell, seemingly because, you know, where do you go with that? Everybody's seen the real interview, and as I pointed out, and a lot of people have now picked up on, massive disclaimer notice at the start of that docu, so then basically they can come up with many things that are not true. It's as simple as that. But you see, there were two blondes we told you about in this battle, Emily Maitlis and Sam McAllister. Now, the problem that Emily Maitlis has got alongside her streaming giant Amazon is this: they're fearful. You see, basically Scoop has scooped up all the story. Sam's been on all the chat shows, they've picked up all the press. Now, Emily's called A Very British Scandal is not coming out, in fact, until October time. Will anybody really care at that point, you know? Now, it's interesting because I often find this with celebrities, and I put Emily Maitlis in that, not necessarily a journalist, but a celebrity. She's chased it and now she's got it. I love the fact that I just leave it to other people and they decide what they're going to do. Meaning, even she's truly fearful about where this is going. Will it now ever see the light of day? It's a very expensive thing that they've put together, you know. Michael Sheen is allegedly taking on the role of Prince Andrew in this version. But unless, of course, and I've been told this from an excellent source who's been working on that particular project, they need more juice, more spice. And this is exactly what I've told you about with these docus. You see, what they have to do then is dig deep and go, well, okay, anybody else remember anything that could have happened? And then, well, what's the truth if people are just trying to remember a little bit of salacious gossip? You see how that works. But for now, of course, one would have to say that if I was Emily Maitlis and Amazon, I'd be very concerned about where this will leave my project in the future. And as we've seen, it did little to dent the reputation, indeed, of the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, and it didn't rate particularly well. So far, I've been told that Netflix are really struggling to sell this into other territories, even at a reduced cost. As ever, we have to say allegedly. It's not a story that really transcends around the world. People are more interested in the real version, and that was very successful in sales for the BBC and Newsnight. But now that programme's been binned due to lack of viewers, literally people are looking at this whole debacle and saying, what a mess this all turned out to be. But the final mess really could be for the star presenter that has really traded on this for so long now, Emily Maitlis. Will her scoop, or A Very British Scandal, ever truly see the light of day? As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.